Yes, and it's 8:15, and joining the show now, the mayor of the great city of Danbury, Mark Boughton, joins us.
Hey, Mark.
What's happening?
Nothing. What's going on with you?
Not too much. Just another brilliant, beautiful day in the great city of Danbury.
That's right. We got drone-mounted guns flying through the woods in Connecticut. It doesn't say exactly where. This story comes out of the Hartford, Connecticut Associated Press, but the YouTube video is making the rounds. And quite honestly, it's terrifying.
A little scary. Certainly applaud the young man for his ingenuity and his ingeniousness and thinking of that. But when you watch that thing fly and the rounds get blasted off, the applications are limitless, and it is terrifying.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the legislation is not caught up to the technology, and people are scrambling now to put laws in place so that you can't modify these things into weapons. Is that the case?
Most definitely. I think across the country, people are trying to figure out what to do with these drones. I mean, you can buy them on Amazon for a couple $100 now, and put a camera in it and have some fun. But also, there's all kinds of other purposes you can use these things for. So nobody really knows what to do with them. But it's definitely gone a different direction from flying your old model airplane.
Yeah. My next question is, say, man, do you know where I can get some crack?
Not really, but don't eat it if you do get it. But.
Yeah, so we read this story about this 19-year-old kid in Danbury was harassing this woman, chasing her around in a car, and she called the police, and they instructed her, the Danbury police, to drive to the headquarters on Main Street. She did that. This 19-year-old waited across the street, which was a brilliant move. And then the police approached him, and he tried to eat the crack cocaine that he had on him. This is it's not funny. I was making a joke. It's not funny because the drug problem, which we have talked about with you and many other people, specifically we talked about it a lot in New Milford lately, but it's prevalent everywhere. What are we doing to stop this?
Well, first, let me just say that this is not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And secondly, the worst place you want to do any kind of crime in Danbury is around that police station, because there are cameras everywhere. And this is like the second crime we've had in like 3 weeks there. How stupid do people got to be? But anyways, having said all that, look, we have an epidemic. Clearly, particularly on the opiate side, with heroin and things like that, it's just tragic what's happening. In Danbury, we had 2 overdoses the last couple of weeks, and it's something that government's got to get its arms around. But this kid, where do you go with that? I mean, as dumb as they come.
I'm glad you didn't sugarcoat it for us. All right, now I want you, it is Super Tuesday, so for a second I want you to pretend like I am an idiot and I don't know what it is, and explain to me what Super Tuesday is.
What is it, yeah?
Well, last time I was on here, we all agreed that Jeb Bush was probably the smartest candidate, and he's gone.
Right.
So it shows what we know. But this is where about a dozen states are voting in primaries today across essentially the Southeast. That's why they call it the SEC primaries, if you will. And you'll have places like Texas, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, Tennessee, other places that'll be, choosing who they want to be the next president, and on both sides, both Republicans and Democrats. Now, the Republicans, they do it based on proportion. So you have to get over 20%. You get over 20%, you get a certain amount of delegates. If you win the thing in that state, you get even more delegates. But what you need to know is that each state does it differently. So it's impossible to figure out. You just got to wait till 11 o'clock to figure out what happened.
Now, I'm gonna screw this up big time, but I was listening to a radio segment on another radio show yesterday, and it was explained, and I don't know if this is true or if I'm going to get it right, that let's say Trump and Hillary end up being the candidates, and they go up against each other in the general election, and say Trump wins the popular vote but does not win the electoral college, then what would happen in that scenario? So there was someone who was talking about they'd have to put up another Republican candidate.
No, we saw that happen in 2000, right? Al Gore got more popular votes, and George W. Bush won the election because it's the electoral college that counts, not the popular vote. So in terms of the general election, there is a discussion in the Republican Party, and I've been privy to some of these discussions, about if Trump were to actually win everything, which looks like he's going to, do the Republicans try to put up another candidate? Do we run a third party candidate?
Yeah, I've heard about Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney's there's been talk about him jumping back in. There's talk about maybe another candidate coming in. And Bloomberg has talked about having an independent run. So voters may have multiple choices this fall. I think it's too early to tell, but I just think Trump's got to, he's got to learn how to keep his mouth shut, and he's got to learn how to act presidential. And I just don't know if that's in his,
Right.
I don't think that's in his DNA.
Is there a possibility that if Trump is the nominee for the Republican Party, that we can get 2 SWAT team members to come out on the stage, pick him up, and carry him off stage and tell him that there's no way in hell that he will be the Republican nominee? Could that possibly happen?
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think at the convention, and I've gone to every convention since 2000, the national convention. I think that if they try to nominate anybody but Trump, I think there's going to be a riot as well. Because remember, Trump's going to say, "Look, I got all the votes, and now these delegates." Because we're not bound to go with who Connecticut votes for. As a delegate, I can vote for whoever I want.
Yeah.
Now, tradition is that you do vote for whoever the state voted for, but I think that presents a whole other set of problems. And by the way, did you guys catch Melania on TV the last, say, 24 hours, his wife?
No. Why? What happened?
Well, she's a class act, I have to say. She really did a nice job. But every time I hear her talk, remember that Mel Gibson tape where his wife is like going,
Yes.
I want to go to jacuzzi. Every time she talks, I get pictures saying, Donald, let's go to jacuzzi.
All right, Mark.
All
So
right,
we
I'm sorry.
want to thank you first of all, and we're going to do a weekly spot with you. Or we're going to work this out, or
Yeah,
what? Or are you
yeah.
just blowing smoke?
Yeah, no, let's do this. We'll do a little political update, a little Danbury and Greater Danbury update, and we'll keep it to about 2 minutes.
All right. Okay. Look at that.
Like
he's
this
playing,
break.
He's playing
Yeah.
program director too.
Thanks,
Mark.
Mark.
Thank you for your time.
All right, boys, talk to you later.
Take care. Mayor Mark Boughton of Danbury. Yeah, each week is it?
Yeah,
we could
figure
give
for
it a corny name.
Something for no. Let's let's relax. But they're probably going to want to.
Update
They're probably going to
Danbury.
want to sponsor it, make some money off it.
Oh well, it's 8:22. Ethan and Lou here at I-95. 45 and sunny today.